if you're watching this, you're probably asking yourself, how am I ever going to make it as a successful trader when I barely have time to trade? I mean, from one email to the next email, from one board meeting to the next board meeting, you barely get the time to actually trade successfully. Well, you don't have to worry anymore, because that was my exact situation 6 years ago. But look at me right now. I am a full-time day trader, and this is what makes it very interesting, that despite my very busy schedule, I was finally able to make it and start trading full-time. So if I did it, I trust that you can do it, because I'm going to be sharing the 4 changes or the 4 key things that I had to focus on for me to finally become that full-time day trader. And of course, number 4 on this list is very, very important. So make sure you get to find out exactly what that is, so that you can also become that full-time trader that you've always dreamt to become. And also remember that if you happen to find value in this video, please like it, so that YouTube can share it with more other traders out there that would love to go full-time. So let's get right into it. The very first thing was for me to develop a structure around my trading. I had to make my trading so structured that it actually fit my kind of day schedule. Now, if you're very keen on your trading, you know that as someone that works a 9 to 5, you definitely don't have enough time. You do not have that time to actually sit on your trading screen for 3-5 hours like many of those other traders out there that do not have a job to actually attend. So basically what this means is that you must come up with a schedule. You must be able to structure your trading around your job. You cannot believe how many times I kept telling myself I'll be able to trade successfully once I'm less busy, and that less busy, it never came, because reports kept piling, boardroom meetings kept coming up. I kept receiving email to email. I mean, you're answering this email, answering the next email, and by the time you're done with that, the day is done, and maybe you didn't even find the time to actually look onto your chart. So if this is your kind of life, then definitely something must change. You must actually structure your trading around your day-to-day lifestyle, or basically your kind of work schedule, because if you don't, then you're going to run into problems like overtrading. Once you get onto the chart, you'll try to put on as many trades as possible. You'll also find yourself forcing setups. I mean, your setup hasn't fully matured, but you are going ahead and actually entering that trade, and guess what? You keep losing money. So you do not want to be in this kind of situation. So you must be able to schedule your trading around your kind of day-to-day lifestyle. That if I know that maybe in the morning my work starts at 8, the time before 8, I'm actually going to use that to maybe look out for any setups in the market, draw my support resistance levels as someone who trades support and resistance. And maybe in my breaks, that's when I actually take my trades. My breakfast time, that's the time I take my trades. And then when it comes to my lunch time, maybe I'm checking to see how exactly is my trade playing out, or something like that. And then later in the evening, I can use that time once I'm done with my work. That's the time I can use to actually, review my trades of the day, look for any opportunities for the next day. And basically, this is how you need to be as a trader. But if you cannot structure your trading around your day-to-day lifestyle, trust me, trading might be very hard for you. So hope you know exactly how you need to go about this, because if you don't make these changes, trust me, you cannot become that successful or that profitable trader that you want to become, for you to finally make the leap and basically go full time. The second thing that I had to face, or basically that I had to change, was the decision fatigue. I basically used to face this a lot. As you wake up in the morning, you try and think about the emails you're going to receive that particular day, the traffic you're going to actually go through, and all these things. So basically, they make your mind feel so burdened, because you are going to actually stay the whole day doing these things, so you don't have any time to actually make or basically do your trading. So of course, by the time you get to, let's say, open trading view, you're already very frustrated, you're already very fatigued, so you don't want to be this type of trader. So it was at this point that I came to the realization that, you know what, I do not have to trade each and every day. Some days, yes, if my setup has showed up, then I'm okay to trade that particular day. But if my setup hasn't showed up, I should be able to actually sit back and just stay on my hands and go about my other kind of work. So that alone, coming to that realization, was a very big change and basically a very big factor in my becoming actually a full-time trader. And then of course, as a beginner trader that time, I was faced with the problem of basically trying to learn everything. I would learn this strategy, then learn the next strategy, but I still had to come to the realization that, you know what, this constant or continuous learning is not gonna help. So I had to settle with one strategy, and I basically went all in on this one strategy. So this is exactly how I was able to finally start seeing some results in my trading, and this is how I actually became a profitable trader, sticking to one thing and going all in on that one thing. That alone was a big game changer. So if you're out there and you have dreams of actually becoming a full-time trader, I would recommend you pick one thing and go all in on it. Basically, when it comes to the strategy, pick one strategy, commit to it, test it very well, and then this is the strategy that you're always going to actually be using in the market. Because you, as a trader that actually has a 9 to 5, you do not have enough time to look at so many things. The little time that you have within your day, you should excellently, or basically you must be able to maximize that time that you have. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that actually tried to rush quitting my job because I had a lot of pressure. I was trading from a point of, I want to leave this place, I want to leave this boss, I want to leave this job. I basically wanted to quit as fast as possible. And guess what? This wasn't the right thing. Now, when it comes to this is exactly what I need you to focus on. Focus on learning the trading skill set. Once you have the skill to actually extract money from the markets, this is what is going to actually enable you quit your job. Do not try and rush the process, because so many times I see traders basically do all kinds of things. Maybe they are over risking, they are over trading to basically try and escape their job. But guess what happens? Because they are doing all those wrong things, they actually get to stay at their jobs even much longer, because profitability is not rushed. You must develop the right processes. You must develop the right habits. Once you have the right habits in place, this is when you start seeing a growth in your trading P&L. But if you are trading from a desperate point of view, trust me, this is when you're going to do all those crazy things, because you are trying to escape from your bad boss, or maybe from that low payment that you're receiving, or from all those poor bad things that you're actually experiencing at your job right now. So try and develop the skill. Developing the skill, it should be your number one thing, because that job right here, right there, is actually an advantage that you could be having right now, but you don't know. Because when you have a job that you are trading, you're trading, and then you also have a job, you are assured of a monthly salary, and that basically takes away all the pressure from you to try and make money from the market as fast as most traders out there try to do. So keep the job, trade very, very well. Try and not do all those bad things that most traders do, like maybe over risking, over trading, revenge trading. You do not have to do that, especially if you have a job, because you're already assured of a monthly salary every end of month. I'll tell you this, for the last 3 years, I've been working with traders, but I've noticed something very, very profound. I've basically gotten to find out that for the traders that actually trade with a job, they become profitable much faster than their counterparts that actually only depend on their trading. This is a realization I came to basically through working with different traders. So if you're out there and you already have a job, trust me, you already have an advantage. Keep trading right, keep that job for now, and then it will finally help you actually go full time. But you need to keep it for now. Try and develop all the right habits at the moment, and this is what's actually going to make you a much better trader, because with a job you'll trade with the right psychology. But if you have to depend on your trading P&L to basically cover for your monthly bills and all that, trust me, this is when you're going to trade from a point of maybe scarcity, because you're trying to make money as much as possible to try and maybe put the next meal on the table, and it is not easy to actually do that. Now, number 4 on this list is one of those things that are not talked about enough, and that is having a realistic lifestyle. Now, I've seen this a lot again and again, especially among traders, because you see certain things online and you think that's exactly how I need to be, because so many times, let's say a trader is maybe trading a prop account, and then finally they get to the funded stage, and with their first payouts they try to change everything about their lifestyle. Now, for you out there, if you're like this, if you happen to get your first payout, I need you not to rush into maybe buying a car, or maybe buying a fancy clothes, or maybe going on luxury trips. Do not do that. Try and actually stack up those payments or those payouts. Try and keep them, as you receive a payment, then go ahead and reinvest into your trading, reinvest into maybe the next challenge, reinvest like that. And this is how you're actually going to develop a big buffer in terms of money that is actually going to be able to take you for a very long period. Now, you might be there asking me, when do I actually quit my job? Now, that's a very good question. In my opinion, when it comes to quitting and finally going full time, this is what I did. I tried and traded. I traded at least for a period of 12 months. I basically waited until the money that I was making from my trading was 2x what I was earning annually. Once I saw that in my bank account, this is when I said, I think this is the time, because I knew now I had gotten the skill, I had developed the right habits, and this was time for me to actually finally go full time. So if you're out there and you are thinking of when do I actually become a full-time trader, I'm sure this should be able to answer your question. I cannot tell you this enough. Try and keep your lifestyle very modest, because if you stay on a modest kind of lifestyle, this is going to enable you, stack up all the money that you are making maybe from your funded account, put it into a live account, and keep growing that, because that money right there, it will basically act as your buffer, that even when you quit from your job, you have something to fall back onto. Do not just blow up your money as if you may be a fisherman or someone like that is just blowing money. The next day, a fisherman always knows that the next day they are going to actually go back and catch another fish. That's not exactly how trading works, because when it comes to trading, it is not a linear kind of growth. You might find this month you have a very good month, and then next month you do not make any money, and then the next month maybe you're in drawdown, because that can happen. So you need to actually have a buffer that basically enables you to go through some months that you are not making money. Hope this is very, very clear to you. And if you're someone who's struggling with your trading, in this next video right here, I share the 5 visible signs that basically tell you that, you are about to become a profitable trader. So go ahead, check out that video. It will basically be able to show you those signs so that you can maybe see them in your trading. That is if they are already actually happening.